This is appalling news, your most trusted source for fake real news. I'm Paul Chatto. The most appalling news continues to be the reaction to the UK Supreme Court's ruling that men can't magically turn into women and women can't wiggle their noses and become men. The meltdown of trans activists and their allies comes down to the fact that women don't need daily confirmation that they are women, whereas some trans-identifying men are fighting tooth and fake nails to maintain their misogyny. We bet you can't tell which ones are the sausage danglers in this video.
I do my business, it's none of your f***ing business. Where I do my business, it's none of your business.
Where I do my business, it's none of your business.
Where we do our business, it's none of your business. Where we do our business, it's none of your f***ing business.
Where I do my business, it's none of your business.
Our biological sex does not decide what toilets we use, our brain does. Let adults decide what toilets to fucking go in. Where we do our business is none of your fucking business!
Yes, it's a complete mystery to us. We like how the last individual of indeterminate delusion and bra size claimed that our biological sex does not decide what toilets we use. Our brain does, and your brain doesn't care what porcelain bus you're driving after an all-night Jägermeister and grenadine bender either, darling. This next example challenges us. When I'm sharing men's spaces with your husbands, remember, you asked for this. One of the ongoing misapprehensions of many trans-identifying men is that they are a lot hotter than their biological female counterparts. This one in particular is confident that they will leave a truck stop washroom with a man on each arm. But just wait until they find out you have a manual transmission. Here is an amazing example of someone hitting puberty.
Does your husband call you baby? Okay, so even better.
I don't care.
Okay, so I would like for you to apologize because that is derogatory, and second of all,
Is tranny derogatory news?
No.
That was the fastest change we've ever seen. Here is a woman who must work at a circus.
Please stop talking about this court decision that was made yesterday about the definition of what a woman is and framing it within a victory for a feminist context. It is not. Those people are like leftovers from the 1980s. They are exclusionary feminists.
Sorry, you 80s leftovers. It wasn't enough that you fought for women's rights. You are now exclusionary feminists, and you have nothing to do with the modern feminist movement, which apparently means fighting for the rights of sausage danglers to invade women's spaces you fought for.
They are nothing to do with the modern feminist movement, and this is absolutely not a victory for women's rights. You realise what you have done. You know, we now all have to prove that we are women in order to get the services that we feel most comfortable in. Technically, I will have to prove that I'm a woman to be able to be searched by a female officer if I'm arrested by the police.
You have twisted things around. The point is not that you, as the victim, have to prove your womanhood, but as a woman, you have a right to not be searched by a woman packing a large billy club.
I mean, you can say, well, you look like a woman and you sound like a woman, but so do a lot of my trans female friends.
You have a lot of trans female friends? Are you babysitting for David Tennant? Again, the issue is about the woman receiving the service. A rape victim does not want to be attended to by a nurse with a 5 o'clock shadow, unless she's Portuguese.
What about my friends who have got polycystic ovary syndrome?
How many friends do you actually have with polycystic ovary syndrome? 6% of women have polycystic ovary syndrome. Is there a bakery where you all hang out?
And are a little bit hairy about the face.
Leave Portuguese women out of this, damn it!
What about my friends who are quite tall and well-built with square jaws and look a little bit masculine? What about them?
You've just described every field hockey team.
This is not a victory for women's rights. This is a victory for the patriarchy.
And there you go. blaming your husband once again, and we'll leave you with this final brilliant argument.
You've probably heard about this Supreme Court's ruling on the definition of the word woman. This will have some real serious implications. It will have some consequences. But I want to tell you one thing. They can make their laws. They can specify their definitions. They can take away my rights. But there's one thing that they'll never be able to take from me. And that's who I am. I'm a trans woman and I'm proud. And they'll never be able to take that from me.
If you were a real woman, you would never have picked that wallpaper. And that's why men make the best women. This has been Appalling News, and that's the way it is.